Okay. Okay, we are live right now. Welcome everybody. Welcome Norbert and Dexter, the Nostalgia Toonster, and Jason, the cartoon fan. Uh, as you can see, it's just Chris and Frates who's returned. My second guest, Zara, she told me that she's going to be running a little late, and she will arrive like at at 7 o'clock the latest. So for now, it's just me and Kristen, and he's showing off his Homestar Runner Plus.
No, it's strong bad I'm holding.
Oh, oh yeah. So yes, if you guys have seen my previous streams, uh, you know that Kristen has been a guest before. He is a budding voice actor and one of my voluntary co-stars on my short film, The Grover Guys. But to briefly reintroduce yourself to those who are unfamiliar watching this stream, whether it's live or a live playback, just briefly introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christian Frates, and I'm an aspiring autistic voice actor. And I have voiced in my own videos and voiced in other people's videos, and I have voiced in a video game called Killer Jin.
Yes, and I was just thinking of, just in case you didn't talk about the last time, do you mind talking about your briefly talk about your experience in that video game and where we could find it?
Well, the video game Killer Jin is on Steam. It's a fantasy RPG. You play as a character, and he or she will defeat enemies, and I voice a little boy in it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. Well, oh, do you mind reciting any of the lines that that character said?
I don't remember, but he sounds like this.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh yes, and Norbert just reminded me that we're doing this stream because this March marks Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Since me, Kristen, Zara, and a lot of you guys watching do have autism or uh, Asperger syndrome, and yet it doesn't really prevent us from achieving our goals. In the case of my two guests, excuse me, uh, it's voice acting. And so, Kristen, just briefly outline how is it you deal with your autism while pursuing your career as a voice actor?
Well, I've been attending the Pilgrim Area Collaborative, so I get to talk with autistic co-students, classmates, so that I can learn more about what living with autism is like, and that I have been able to do all the academic works. And one of my ideas for being a voice actor is that I was able to read books and certain characters in voices I have created where they sound similar to the characterization. For example, I read Death of the Salesman Willie Loman as the voice of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Because he has that cranky attitude. Why so serious, Batman?
That, that's interesting. Oh, Dexter asks, how long have I known Kristen Frates and Zara Lobner? Well, with Kristen, I was first introduced to him because it was around the time that I was becoming a fan of Evil Con Carne, and Kristen is one of the biggest fans of that show on the internet, and I saw his review and whatever tweets that he'd make about the show, and I also saw his voice acting abilities too, and they're pretty good. And from there, we built sort of this strong acquaintanceship, if that's even a word, to the point where I had him volunteer to play some voices in my short film, The Grover Guys, and 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 as I mentioned before, he did a really good job with that.
Thank you.
Yes. And as for Zara, I became I became familiar with her. Honestly, just what? Oh, hang on, Kristen. Just that your camera footage was just shrinking for a bit. But yeah, with Zara, it was just last year I became acquainted with her. Or maybe the year before when I listened to the Nick at 40 podcast, which she co-hosted with Norbert. You should check it out on her channel. It's in the description down below. And yeah, last year it was when I was really becoming acquainted with her, like as a person and a content creator when I had her on a stream before. Both of them involved in Canadian animation since she's a huge fan of those.
Dexter asked me, what Hanna-Barbera and/or Cartoon Network shows are you two mostly fans of? I like Evil Con Carne, Samurai Jack, and Hi Hi Puffy Yumi, as well as Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones.
Yep, and as I mentioned before, my favorite Cartoon Network shows are Dexter's Laboratory, Regular Show, both Grim and Evil, the original Powerpuff Girls, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, just to name a few. And as for classic Hanna-Barbera stuff, I do like some Flintstones and Scooby-Doo, and Yogi Bear, and I also like Wally Gator as well. And Kristen, oh, I see that Zara's here. Hey, welcome,
Hi,
Zara.
Zara.
Hello.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, hang on a moment. I'm just going to add you on to the stream so we can see you. Okay. Great that we get to see you this time since the last time your camera wasn't working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um. So Zara, reintroduce yourself to those who are unfamiliar.
Hello, my name is Zara Lobner. I am a YouTuber and actress who you may know from my work at Camp Credibility or me doing Nick at 40, my Nickelodeon podcast.
Excellent. And And as you mentioned when you were here the last time where we talked about Canadian cartoons, is that you are budding as a voice actress as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and mind filling in on the roles that you've been working on.
Well, at Camp Credibility, I'm attached to a murder film and a COVID PSA. And in the murder film, I play Jezebel, who is this stuck-up girl and a news announcer. And in the COVID PSA, I play a barista and a nurse. So I've played a lot of different characters for Camp Credibility so far.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. So as we're preparing the stream, I already mentioned this, but this is in honor of disability sorry, Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and you told me, Zara, that you want to plug camp create credibility in Wisconsin. Mind giving them an overview of them and probably even inspire some of our viewers or even Kristen to consider joining them.
Yes, so Camp Credibility is a film production studio in Wisconsin that works with people on the autism spectrum, and they go over the entire production of making films, like the editing, the directing, writing, producing, and acting. And of course, we don't do animation that much, but we do occasionally. But yeah, anything you can think of when it comes to filmmaking, Camp Credibility does. And it's all for people who are on the autism spectrum. So definitely give them a, lookout sometime if you want to.
Cool. What do you say about that, Kristen?
Well, I would say that being a voice actor on the autism spectrum has its benefits. For example, I have photographic memory. I can remember the exact date I went to see Shrek 2, which is May 21st, 2004, with my dad. And Jason asked me, are there any cartoon characters you haven't been confirmed to have autism, but you headcanon as to have it? I think Sheldon Lee from My Life as a Teenage Robot and Lilo from Lilo and Stitch are are autistic because they both have eccentric special interests and they can be a little awkward, but they're friendly inside.
How about you, Zara?
There's not really any I can think of right now, but if I do think of any, I'll let you know.
Okay. As for me, he's not exactly a cartoon character per se, but I've always thought, well, it was just recently I kind of made a headcanon that Bert from Sesame Street was autistic, because if you watch the show, you see that he's into these peculiar interests like collecting paper clips and bottle caps, and he especially loves pigeons, so he's really attached to those special interests, and not to mention he really likes to be like, he likes peace and quiet, like he doesn't, like a lot of the time he does not want to be disturbed by Ernie and his shenanigans. He'd rather just sit back, relax, listen to some boring music, as Ernie might call it. Yeah, so that's why. So, what do you guys think?
Sure.
Hmm?
Okay, cool. So, uh, hang on. Let me just think about what I need to say. Um, yes, Zara. Since the last time I did voice acting live stream, it was with Kristen by himself, and he already gave some of his basic opinions surrounding that field. But with you, on the other hand, I have some of the same questions that I asked Kristen the last time. Like, for example, oh, nice figure there, Kristen.
That's Majin Buu. Meet you up!
Cool. Yeah, so Zara, firstly, I want to ask, who are your favorite voice actors or actresses, and are there any that inspire you in a way?
Well, any woman that is a voice actress deserves major credit because it's great to see a female-dominated industry. So think of like Tara Strong or Grey Griffin and the late great June Foray. People like that have definitely influenced me a lot.
Awesome. And speaking of Grey Griffin, Kristen had the great opportunity to speak with her through one of those virtual live chats that you have to pay for the on Comic Con. Do you mind talking about your conversation with her, Kristen? I'm sure it'll be
Yes.
exciting.
Um, my dad realized that she was in an episode of Family Feud with her family back in the 1980s.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that recently, and it was amazing how she was like 16 years old back then, and even then she was excited to show off her voice acting abilities, like her Wizard of Oz impressions. And you told me that she told you, Kristen, that Judy Garland was one of the inspirations for her performance as Major Dr. Gasly on Evil Concarde.
Yes. And I showed her an audio clip of an obscure cartoon she voiced in based on Lobo from DC Comics. And I showed her the audio clips, and she has no recollection that she did it.
Wow.
She thought it was a Scooby Doo episode at first.
Really?
Hmm?
Uh, anything else you want to add about your conversation with her?
Well, Gray is a very nice woman. She's caring, and I told her that I was the one who updated her old "This Is Your Childhood in 60 Seconds" video, and she was so happy.
Yeah, I saw. I think you even admitted yourself that when you upload that video, it was what caused a boost in your subscriber count.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. Okay. Any thoughts, Zara? And are there any voice actors you wish you could meet or just chat with?
Well, I would like to chat with Phil Lamar someday because he's another Evil Con Carne cast member.
Yes. Oh, I think I meant to ask Zara that question. Who's he like to meet with?
Well, I'd love to meet Tom Kenny because he's so awesome.
Yes, me
Did
too. Like he's
Did
my
you know
favorite.
that Tom Kenny voiced several minor characters in the Lobo web cartoon?
Yes, I did. I
I
haven't seen the web series yet, but I did see your reaction to it. It looks like it's a pretty decent cartoon, and for a web cartoon made in what was it, 2000?
2000, and it's not safe for kids.
Right, right. So if you're like under 18, watch if you yeah, if you're under 18, it's best that you don't watch it unless you have very, 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 very strong discretion, or probably just don't bother. Okay, let's read some of the comments here. Uh, Dexter the Nostalgia Tuner says that he's always been a fan of Frank Welker, Don Messick, Mel Blanc, Tara Strong, Chris Summer, E.G. Daly, and more for a while. Yes, all of them are fantastic talent as well. We could kind of be here all day talking about how cool they are. And, and any brief opinions on them, Kristen or Zara?
I would say that they're all great, and Frank Welker I consider the undisputed king of voice actors.
Yes. And
He voiced Shao Kahn, Reptile, and did the vocal effects of Goro in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film.
cool. How about you, Zara? And any thoughts?
I would say they're all great. I mean, they all have done really great characters over the years. They all are really talented people, and they're all really good people too. So, thumbs up to all of them.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Norbert asks, what are your guys' opinions on autism representation in media?
I would say mixed to positive. For example, if it wasn't for Rain Man, then people wouldn't be understanding of autism as a whole.
How about you, Zara?
It just depends upon the representation, I guess. Like, sometimes it can be pretty good, sometimes it can be pretty bad, sometimes it's in the middle. It just depends upon the subject, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm kind of on the same boat as you. Just depends on how good they are represented. And Dexter, that's how the Toonster asks, if either of you want to meet Frank Welker in person, what would you ask him and why?
I would like to ask him, what's your favorite Evil Con Carne episode?
And I'll probably ask him something similar to that as well. How about you, Zara?
Probably favorite moment behind the scenes over the years.
Yeah. And any favorite character that Frank Welker voiced?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, who is your favorite that he voiced of Zara?
My favorite?
Yes.
Well, I know he was in the Disney adaptation of The Prince and the Pauper, and I grew up with that short a lot when I was a kid. So probably his voice is in that.
Cool. I will say my personal favorite Frank Welker role is. Hmm. Well, I'd say Fred and Scooby Doo are the most iconic that he plays. But his more underrated roles are definitely Boss Cuff the Bear from Evil Con Carne, and also Joanna the Wizard from The Rescuers Down Under. and Kristen will agree with me with at least two of those, right?
Hmm.
Yep. Okay,
And
let's check out.
Ethan asked me if either of you want to meet Tom Kenny in person, what would you ask him and why? I would like to ask him if he remembers voicing in the Lobo cartoon, because he voiced a lot of minor characters in it.
How about you, Zara? What would you ask him?
I would ask him how much he enjoys playing Patchy the Pirate in the live action segments, because that's kind of fun actually, that he does that.
Hmm. As for me, I would ask him. Oh boy, what would I ask Tom Kenny if I were to meet him in person? I would ask him. Oh, I don't know, something about. Uh, to be honest, I got nothing, but maybe I'll ask him what his least favorite SpongeBob episode is. Maybe something basic like that, or something better. I don't know. Say, Kristen, do you mind us showing off your Boskov figure that you sold me before?
Yes, my dad gave me this for the holidays of 2020, and it's a rare, limited edition Boskov and Hector Concarne toy, and I showed it to Grey Delisle, and she was happy that it existed.
Yeah,
I showed her a link to the one for Ghastly, and I bet she would have gotten it.
yeah. I'd love to have one too. And there's one for General Scar as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any favorite characters voiced by Jim Cummings? Let's start with you, Kristen.
Well, I like his Winnie the Pooh and Pete and Cortez from The Road to El Dorado and his narration for B Movie.
Awesome. As for me, if I were to say one, I'll probably go with Cat from Cat Dog. Yeah, that's what I'll probably ask Tom Kenny. What's his favorite episode of Cat Dog, to voice, Dog in? Since he's pretty much, like my third or fourth, he's definitely one of my top 10 Tom Kenny roles. How about you, Zara? Who's your favorite Jim Cummings character?
Probably Pooh from Winnie the Pooh, because I'm a huge Disney fan, so I grew up with Winnie the Pooh.
Great. And let's see what else we got here. Dexter asks, Cree Summer or Tara Strong? Which one would you go with?
I would say both, because they're both equally good.
Yeah, me too. Tara I love for Timmy Turner and Bubbles, and Cree Summer I love for Susie Carmichael and Rugrats, and I also really like her performance as Miranda from As Told by Ginger. Like, Miranda herself is not all that likable of a character, although slightly more likable than Dodie. But Cree Summer's sassy performance as her, it's definitely one of the highlights of that character. And I know you're a fan of Ginger, Zara, so feel free to agree or disagree.
I agree with you, Miranda is a well-played character.
Yeah. Okay. Any favorite character that Jim Henson voiced, even though he's not like primarily a voice actor per se, he's a puppeteer. But still, we'll give out our answers.
I would say Kermit the Frog and Ernie, because they sound alike.
Yeah. Uh, I'll go with those two along with Guy Smiley. The game show host on Sesame Street, who, funnily enough, he's one of the few characters that Jim hated performing because, Guy Smiley is always like yelling at the top of his lungs when he's hosting his games, so it kind of made his throat kind of sore. I kind of wonder if Eric Jacobson, who plays Guy Smiley right now, I don't know if he goes through the same thing or not. But who's your favorite Jim Henson played character, Zara?
Probably Kermit and Ernie as well.
Great. And Jason asks, any favorite characters played by Nancy Cartwright? His are Bart Simpson from The Simpsons, of course, and Todd Darren on the obscure Disney series The Replacements.
I would say Bart and Todd Daring, and um, I like when Bart Simpson uses the megaphones and saying testing.
Yes, I love that scene. Uh, yeah, Bart's my favorite Nancy Cartwright role too, and obviously the most iconic. How about you, Zara?
Yeah, I have to go with Bart Simpson.
Yeah. Dexter points out that voicing a puppet sort of counts as a voice actor. Yeah, that is true. A lot of the times when you're manipulating the puppet, you are providing the voice as well. Although the thing is, the difference between puppeteering and voice acting is well, it's basically that you're more than just providing the voice for a puppet character. You're giving them life by recording, or sorry, manipulating their arms and their other facial features, and also making sure they act like as if they were a toy doll who was suddenly come to life. So basically, puppeteering is more difficult than some people may think.
There are even some puppet segments in Homestar Runner with Puppet Homestar and Puppet Strong Bad.
Interesting. Okay. Just Love and Life acts. Do you think any SpongeBob characters are on the autism spectrum?
I think SpongeBob could be on the spectrum because he obsesses about blowing bubbles and is friendly but a little awkward and gets upset when routines change. For example, he doesn't like working at the Chum Bucket and prefers to work at the Krusty Krab.
Yeah. And there's also one episode where I think it's called, I'm trying to remember what it's called, New Digs from season 5. It's basically where SpongeBob was so upset that he was 1 minute late to work that he decides to move into the Krusty Krab, like to live there so that he'll never be late for work again.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And did you know that Jess Harnell and Lex Lang voiced in the Adam Sandler movie Lil Nicky?
No, I didn't.
Jess Harnell did the vocal effects of Gary the Monster, who's supposed to be a man in a ape suit, and Lex Lang did the voice of the Chicago record done in reverse for subliminal messages. So it's basically Crash and Cortex voiced there before Crash Tag Team Racing.
Interesting. Jason asks if I agree with him on his series that if Chris Griffin from Fairway Guy and Wendy Wild from the Wild House are on the autism spectrum. I can't recall if any of you read that comment of his when he mentioned that, but I'll give you guys your thoughts on his theory about those two characters being on the spectrum.
I actually agree with Jason because there are some implications. For example, Chris is a little dependent on his parents,
Yeah.
and that Lenny Loud can be a little awkward and is and thinks differently.
How about you, Zara? What do you think?
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I think that your theory is very plausible too, Jason. Just Love and Life acts. What voice actor or entertainer inspires you? I think Kristen gave his answer before the very first time he was here.
Well, Janice Kawai, from My Life's Teenage Robot and Amiyumi fame, is one of the reasons why I not only wanted to do voice acting, but to speak Japanese as well.
Yes, and I think Zara already mentioned who inspired her to pursue voice acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Nobra asks, Cri- Kristen and Zara, do either of you have headcanons where certain characters in media are on the spectrum? I think you already gave your answers on that, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, we already gave our answers on that question, Dorper. If you missed it, you could always replay you or rewind the live stream or watch the replay. Okay. Let's see. What else can we talk about?
DJ, have you
Yeah.
heard of Chris Seaver?
Chris Seaver.
Chris Seaver is a British game designer and voice actor who voiced pretty much every character in the controversial N64 title Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Hmm. Interesting. I'm not familiar.
Well, it's not a game for kids, that's for sure, despite the cutesy looks of Conker the Squirrel and the other characters.
Okay.
It's like South Park meets Looney Tunes.
Okay. Interesting. So, Dexter the Tuncer asks, if Don Messick and Casey Kasem were still alive, which they're not, what would you ask them?
Well, I would ask Casey and Don, what are your favorite Scooby-Doo moments? And Don Messick was the original voice of Zorak.
Yes.
He had this Zorak-like voice, compared to Clay Martin Croker, who sounded like Imperfect Cell from Dragon Ball.
Awesome. You know, I said this before, but if Zorak were to make an appearance nowadays, I think Tom Kenny should be the voice of him, because if you watch the Cartoon Network show Clarence, he plays a character named Sumo, and I said to myself more than once that he sounds almost exactly like Zorak.
Or how about Damian Clark, because his Imperfect Cell voice sounds like Zorak too.
Hmm. Cool. Oh,
I'll
and
send you a sample.
okay. Uh, Norbert asks, what, in your guys' opinion, is the most jarring voice actor change for a certain character? And for him, it's Putt Putt going from uh, Jason Elfison to Nancy Cartwright between the fourth and fifth games. Yeah, so what's the most jarring voice actor change for you?
For me, it's that Mr. Nezer from VeggieTales was initially voiced by Phil Vischer, and in most episodes of the VeggieTales show, he was voiced by David Mann, who probably doesn't do a good job doing his Mr. Nezer voice until Phil Vischer returned. And he sounds like original Bubs from Homestar Runner.
Hey, Homestar, I can see you from here.
Hmm, interesting. Okay, how about you, Zara? What's the most jarring voice actor change for you?
Well, we kind of talked about it last time, but um, on Brave Space, how Alicia Silverstone got replaced by Stacey DePass for the first season. That was kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay. We have an interesting question from Sunny D Studios. Who was the voice actor for Pelswick and Todd from Wayside? I'm starting to like both those shows. Well, with Pelswick, the main character of that show was voiced by Rob Tigler. Uh, he's a Canadian voice actor whose most well-known roles include uh, Max in the Sam and Max freelance police cartoon, and he played the goldfish in The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. And I may be wrong, but I think he was also the voice of Howie from Almost Naked Elbows. And Todd, well, in the pilot, he's voiced by Michael Cera, who most of you may know for uh, Arrested Development, but I personally remember him for voicing Brother Bear in the early 2000s Bear and Sea Bears cartoon. And for the actual Wayside series, Todd was voiced by Mark Randall, who voiced Arthur in season 6 through 8, I think. Any thoughts? Any of the voice actors I mentioned? You too?
Well, I grew up with Arthur, given that Mark Brown, the author's from my home city, Hingham.
Cool. And and what's your and and you're familiar with Rob Tinkler, right? You're familiar with the Sam and Max cartoon?
Yes, because I played the Sam and Max games.
Cool. And how about you, Zara? Any opinions on the voice actors I just mentioned?
I do know Rap Tinkler because he was in Cyber Chase, and I grew up with PBS, so there's that.
Yep. And I mentioned Michael Cera, and he's the voice of Joss from Braceface, right?
Yeah, but he was also in Juno with Elliot Page.
as well as Superbad, home of McLovin.
Cool. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have a question for Zara. What changes are you hoping for in the future for people on the spectrum in entertainment, such as voice acting?
What was the question again?
Oh, what changes are you hoping for the future for people on the autism spectrum in entertainment?
Well, I'm hoping for someday for all 50 states to have equal opportunities for voiceover because in Wisconsin, there's not really a lot of opportunities compared to something like California, and it's not really fair. So I'm hoping that there's more equal opportunities in all 50 states.
Just Living Life asked me, Christian, can you do one of your best impressions? And I think one of my best impressions is Majin Buu! Boo want candy! Boo wanna turn this strong bad into chocolate! Ha ha!
Cool. That, that's pretty darn good, Chris said. What I was thinking? I think towards the end of the stream, we saw play a role game in which you do a voice impression, and we have to guess who it is. Me, Zara, and the audience. So we'll have to take some guesses who it is, and you could offer a little hints if you like. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Jason is mentioning about how Kermit the Frog's performer, Steve Whitmire, was changed from Matt Vogel, who's already taken over the role of Big Bird. And there has been some complaints about how Matt has been playing Kermit in the past couple of years. Some say that he sounds too awkward or probably sounding too hard to sound like Jim Henson's performance of Kermit. Honestly, I think it's serviceable enough. How about you? If you guys heard Matt Vogel's performance as Kermit, whether it be on the Muppets Now series on Disney Plus or any of the recent Muppet videos on the YouTube channel, what's your opinion?
Well, fun fact, Matt Vogel was the voice of Constantine from Muppets Most Wanted,
I,
who is disguised as Kermit, and he eventually voices Kermit himself.
I know that's such delicious irony. Oh, Norbert's saying that my voice sounds echoey. Oh,
I don't hear any echoes.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it here.
Norbert asked us, uh, do either of you plan on moving to LA? You can't really pursue a big voice acting career unless you move to LA.
Or how about you, Zara?
Well, I actually would rather move to Toronto to do voiceover because, first of all, I love Canada way more than the US. And second of all, it's closer to Wisconsin than LA, I found out. So, there's that.
Hmm, interesting.
I'm
And
fine with remote work with LA people because since I'm on the spectrum, I won't get worried in that I like living in Massachusetts.
Interesting. And speaking of Canadian voice actors, uh, what I what I want to do is show a clip from Kristen Potenza, who who some of you may know as voice of Chris McQueen in the Total Drama franchise, also Jude from 16. But the thing is, if I play the clip, I know that you, Kristen and Zara, won't be able to hear it on your end as it's playing, but the audience could be able to see it once that signal like picks up when I'm playing the clip through OBS. So if you don't mind, there might be a moment of silence on you guys' end, but my audience could hear the the video footage. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna play the clip right now.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. Wait, no, that's Rob Paulson. Let me bring up Kristen Potenza.
I give you a little voice acting tip. People are always asking me for like, hey, what can I do?
Let me
How
know
do
if
I
you
get
guys
started
could
and stuff? But
hear
here's a
him.
simple little tip. Um, so now
I
this
can't.
cartoon that I'm doing, I just sound like me. It
Oh,
just sounds
I
like
don't
me
mean
talking
you,
like
Kristen.
me.
I mean the audience.
So I don't really need to warm up or get into character, but more often than not, when I wake up in the morning and I've got a voice recording, whether it be for radio or a cartoon, you still got to warm up because when you wake up in the morning, you get ready, and I've got this 40 minute to an hour long commute. Uh, when I get to work, I realize I haven't spoken to anyone in like since I woke up in like 2 hours, 3 hours. So you kind of want to warm up. And here's a neat little trick that I learned in theater school from Dorothy Ward, who taught me speech, dialect, and storytelling. And so she gave us these little corks, and these are probably one of the best warm up little devices that you could have as a voice actor. It's served me well. And so here's the thing: you take this little cork and you put it in your mouth like this. Yep. And it just sort of releases the tension in your jaw.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause it for a moment to give some context. Basically, I want to show a clip of one of Kristen Potenza's most amusing of voice tip of voice acting tips. It's basically you put a cork into your mouth and it helps you enunciate your words clearly. And I saw that like after the first time I met him at Comic Con in 2016, and I thought was a very amusing technique. What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. Uh, okay. But oh yeah, there's something else I want to talk about. Kristen Potenza. On his YouTube channel where I got that clip from, which is the Infinity Forge, he did a live stream talking about how he's sort of been depressed with his job as a voice actor, and one of the reasons was because, it's a trope called pigeonholed voice actor, and basically when you're casted to play a specific type of role, uh, uh, due to your previous roles that made you a success in the first place, or just the type of voice you tend to play. So with Kristen, he voices the surfer dude type of guys like Jude and Chris McQueen, and it kind of made him bummed out when he was auditioning for other roles, and then the casting directors keep telling him, you're sounding a little too much like Jude and this other guy you did. So that made him a little sour towards the voice actor industry for a bit, but now he's since widened up and is now working on the Total Drama reboot that's coming to HBO Max and Teletoon very soon. So, what are your guys' opinions on voice actors who are sort of pigeonholed into provide a specific type of role?
Well, I like his role for Chris McLean because I remember watching Total Drama Island from 2008.
How about you, Zara? What's your thoughts on voice actors being pigeonholed into a certain type of role and not going any further?
Well, it doesn't really give them a chance to, you know, show what they're capable of outside of one thing. But if they can do the one thing so well, go for it. Do that one thing well.
Okay, and hang on a moment. Let me just pull up some comments that I missed, and we got one from, let's see, uh, Ethan Ethan Partington Studios brings up Trey Parker, who we know is the co-creator of South Park and the voice of Stan, Eric, and Mr. Garrison, Randy Marsh, and several other characters. What's your thoughts on them? On Trey Parker's voice acting, I mean.
Well, he's pretty good, and I liked his work in Basketball, Team America World Police, Despicable Me 3, and he made fun of his Cartman role in Basketball, where his character says to Grumsky, "Hey Grumsky, you losing weight?"
Hey, you're so fat!
Awesome, awesome impression there. How about you, Zara?
I don't really watch South Park that much, to be honest, but for what I have seen of it, I'd say he does a good job. I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, it was just recently I began binge watching some South Park on ctv.ca. They have an assorted amount of episodes free for streaming here in Canada. And from there, my liking for the show kind of increased. Okay, we got a comment from Norbert saying there are some voice actors where you can tell that's them when you hear them, as most of their voices sound pretty similar, like Richard Horvitz, Kristen Shaw, and Brian Doyle Murphy. Yeah, I know, it's a very mild nuisance, but at the same time, uh, they're still doing a great job doing their occupation as a voice actor. What do you think?
Well, you've heard of Richard Epcar, right?
Yes, I
He
know you're
sounds
very acquainted with
similar
him.
to he sounds similar to Clancy Brown, but I'm personally more used to Richard Epcar because I own a group for fans of him, and that he voiced the Joker in the Injustice games and Mortal Kombat 11, and
His natural voice sounds like this.
But his Joker voice sounds like this.
Also, how about you, Zara? Do you sometimes find it to be distracting when you hear the same voice come from like different characters played by that same person?
Well, if I think the voice is good, it doesn't really bother me. But if I didn't enjoy the voice, then maybe it would bother me. But I'm not really picky about that kind of stuff.
Okay, just give me a moment here. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have another question from Dexter, asking, uh, who do you prefer, John Goodman or Rick Moranis?
Who are they? Who wanna turn them into chocolate?
just kidding. I like John Goodman the best.
You see what happens, Larry?
Yes, I love him too for Monsters Inc. and the Emperor's New Groove, and also he did a surprisingly good job as Fred Flintstone in the live-action Flintstones movie from 1994. Uh, you've seen it, right, Kristen?
Yes, and he was also in The Big Lebowski as Walter Sobchak.
Mark it zero. This is not knob. This is bowling. There are rules.
Yeah. How about you, Zara? Which of the two do you prefer?
Hands down, John Goodman. I'm a huge Roseanne fan, so of course I would know him from that. And he's done so many other great characters over the years, and I can't express my love for him enough.
Yep. Uh, we have a question for you, Zara, that we probably missed. Just Love and Wife asks, what job offers are out there for voice actors? Are they limited to character roles and animation?
Well, I think most voiceover is animation, but there could be some voiceover in live action, like, some vocal animal effects or something like that.
Cool. Okay.
Or video games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Video games too.
Yeah. And let's see. Wait, Jason brought up about how ever since last June, there has been a change to make cartoon characters of color be played uh, pre mandatorily by voice actors of color, like how Carl and Dr. Hibbert on The Simpsons, they're now played by black voice actors. Like Dr. Hibbert's played by the awesome Kevin Michael Richardson, and I actually forgot who voices Carl at the moment. And also,
It was Harry Shearer.
yes, Dr. Hibbert was originally Harry Shearer, and now he's played by Kevin Michael Richardson. And
Then
he does
again, Harry Shearer's getting old.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so basically, what are your opinions on the recent change, those type of changes that have been made in the animation industry, the voice actor industry, I should say.
I would say it's a mixed bag for me because some of them are good and spot on, but some of them, not so much.
Yeah, yeah, it all depends on talent, and probably we could just leave it at there. Although I will say, the new voice for Queefwood on Family Guy sounds pretty good, but I don't mean on the show itself, cause I haven't seen any of the episodes with the new voice actor. But uh, he's a YouTube star. He does gaming videos and he regularly does impressions of Queefwood. So in a way, those gaming streams that he did, they're canon now.
Well, Zara, I think you should like Homestar Runner.
Why is that?
Well, it's a hilarious, family-friendly cartoon that's on the website www.homestarrunner.com and on the Homestar Runner YouTube channel. And most of the cartoons consist of this guy, Strong Bad, checking his email.
I'm checking my email. Dear Strong Bad, how do you put boxing gloves on? Ah, I don't like it when you ask me that question, Abdi. Do you take your face and hands before you go to bed?
That's amazing. Yeah, you doing those impressions, sort of, they they slightly motivate me to check out Homestar Runner for myself, cause I still haven't done that yet.
They even had a Homestar Runner video game for the PlayStation 3.
Cool. Okay, let's see if there's any other question that I missed. Yes, Ethan asks, any favorite characters played by Kevin Klass? His favorites are Elmo on Sesame Street and Baby Sinclair on the Disney Jim Henson show Dinosaurs.
I'm just gonna say Elmo because I grew up with Elmo when I was an infant, and
Same
I was
here.
2 years, and I was 2 years old when Elmo and Grouchland came out in theaters.
Oh yeah, and I also saw your picture on Instagram where you were, I think you were 2 years old, and you had a Elmo doll in your hands.
And a Barney VHS because my pal Josh Martin, you know, uh, Majin Buu was the suit actor for Barney.
Also, yeah, I'll say Elmo's my favorite role by Kevin Klass as well. Uh, Kevin was pretty much the main reason why he became such an iconic character because he started off as a minor character on the show in the early 80s, played by whoever was available to play him. and then Richard Hunt was performing him in 1984 and got sick and tired of playing this cutesy character that he literally taught the puppet to Kevin Class, who was a new puppeteer on the show at the time, and from there he slowly improvised and trying to figure out who Elmo was, and he developed him into this lovable character who was friendly to everybody. So yeah, he was one of my childhood heroes. Although I will bring up Benny Rabbit. He was a character on Sesame Street from the mostly during the 90s, and he's this grouchy rabbit who works at the bellhop in a hotel, and he's pretty funny and underrated. How about you, Zara? Who's your favorite Kevin Class role?
Both Elmo and the Bunny, because they're so vastly different from one another, and the voices are too. It's pretty incredible, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. And on topic of Muppets, Ethan also asks, which Jerry Nelson character do you like?
Well, I would say the Count because I grew up with the Count, and the Count is my favorite Sesame Street character, and maybe that's the reason why I like vampire works such as Buffy or Blade or even Math.
Hmm. Interesting. And I'll say my favorite Jerry Nelson role is. Hmm. Well, I've always loved the two-headed monster. Jerry usually played the left head of it, and Richard Hunt will play the head on the right side. I've always found them amusing as a kid. I still find them to be funny characters to this day. How about you, Zara? Who's your favorite Muppet performed by Jerry Nelson?
I'm gonna probably go with Count and Two-Headed Monster as well.
Also, and Jason mentioned that Kevin Class also voiced Zoots the Owl, the Muppet behind the song Put Down the Ducky. Oh, I have to correct you, Jason. It's actually Hoots the Owl. You know, hoot, the sound that an owl makes. But yeah, you seem to be almost confusing for another Muppet who plays the saxophone, which is Zoot from the Muppet Show. He's played by Dave Goelz. But I get what you're saying, and yeah, Hoots is a cool character too.
DJ,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great variations in Homestar Runner. There's an old-timey variation and an anime-themed variation called 20XD6, and then they have miniseries based on the Cheat Commandos, which are supposed to be a parody of G.I. Joe, and the main villain is Blue Laser Commander. I said, "We will crush the Cheat Commandos!"
Hmm. Amusing. Welcome, Cinetoons, CEO Entertainment. Uh, we're about an hour into the stream, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna be playing another clip for my audience. Uh, since we've been talking about voice acting, and since this is uh, a developmental disability special, I have a couple of clips that I want to show of two notable voice actors showing their support for the autism people on the autism spectrum. Oh, oh, Dexter says that he was gone. No, it's okay. We're gonna be here for just a little bit longer. So yeah, Chris and Zara, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be playing another clip for my audience.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me just fix it here. Okay, so this is Rob Paulson at at Spectrum Workshop.
His name
Even
is Robert Paulson. Fight Club reference.
yes. Yep, so here's Rob Paulson at Spectrum Workshop, working with some aspiring voice actors. I'm gonna play it right now for my audience.
I don't think there's anything that is more joyful than doing stuff like this. And the great thing about what we're all working on today with cartoons and animation is that, as Kathy said, it is utterly about joy. All right, here we go. You ready, Micah?
For me, it's a piece of cake.
I see what you did there. That's a funny comedy joke.
I got more where that came
Oh,
from.
good. Okay, fire away.
My name is Pete. I am Pete the clerk.
Wow. Well, I love your voice. May I take you up to the penthouse for the holiday party, Pete the Clerk?
Sorry, I can't just yet. I have to check on all the exotic animals.
Well, that's something I didn't expect.
I can tell you honestly, for sure, that nobody who makes their living in the entertainment business started out doing it to make a lot of money. The reason we all, just like you guys, the reason we all love to perform, sing, dance, draw, is because we can't not do it. It's something that just brings us
Correct.
so much joy. It makes our souls happy.
Okay, so that was Rob Paulson showing his support for the autism community, and you guys heard about his support for those who are on the autism spectrum, right?
Yep. And in a video he made, he was wearing a Superman t-shirt and he said, "You guys are super, man." I respect his kindness, and he's friendly to everyone he sees, and I'm a Ninja Turtles fan, and I liked his work for Raph and Donnie.
That's sweet.
And did you know that while he did voice the party Juju in the Attack and the Power of Juju games, Jason Marsden was supposed to voice him, but his role was replaced by Rob Paulson late in development.
Interesting. What are your thoughts, Zara,
What are my thoughts on what again?
on Rob Paulson being a supporter of the autism spectrum community?
Oh, I think that's wonderful, actually. The more supporters, the better.
Yeah. And Jason asks, who are your favorite roles by Rob Paulson? And I know Kristen just gave his answers. He's a fan of his work on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, so my favorite Rob Paulson character then?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with his Animaniacs characters because Animaniacs is a funny show.
Yes, same here. And I have to mention Buck Todd Russell from Time Squad, one of his more underrated roles of a very energetic, manly character. And also Ian Wazowski from the Disney show Teacher's Pet, which I know you're a fan of, Jason. He's the weird kid at school, and I just love that nerdy, wisping voice that he does for Ian.
I do not wish to be a dog, Ian.
Yeah, a great Scott. You're supposed to be a Scott or Spot. I know Spot's the dog and Scott is his alter ego. So
Scott
also,
led ready the second.
He sounds like JonTron.
oh yeah, come to think of it, JonTron does sound like Nathan Wayne.
Well, I need some flex tape.
Okay, and Dexter asks, Rob Paulson or Jess Harnell?
I would say both. Rob Paulson was in Spaceballs as the Spaceball who said, "Not a thing, sir," when trying to comb the desert. And
Yep.
Jess Harnell did the vocal effects of some of the creatures at Spooky Island from Scooby-Doo.
And how about you, Zara? Which of the two do you prefer?
Both. I mean, they're both in Animaniacs together, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, I will go with Rob Paulson. He's done a bigger number of iconic roles, and plus, I still to this day I admire the fact that he does the song "Wacko's World" in just one take. You guys find that to be amazing, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you either of you get to see the 2020 reboot yet? I know Barry has. I watched clips of it, and it's pretty good.
And I like calling the brain Vincent Price, the mouse. I have read a part of Thriller from Michael Jackson, Pinky.
How about you, Zara? You saw it?
I saw the first 2 episodes, and I loved it when they made fun of a certain someone who I will not talk about here.
Interesting.
Well,
I'm on the first 5 episodes, and I still think it's a good reboot. And we have another question from Dexter asking, who's better, Phil Lamar or Casey Kasem? Oh, you got a text or a call, Kristen?
well, I declined it.
Okay. So yeah, well, who do you think is better, Phil Lamar or Casey Kasem?
I like both because Casey Kasem was the original Shaggy, and Phil Lamar is so versatile. Did you know that Phil Lamar appeared in the movies Spider-Man 2 and Step Brothers?
I don't think so.
Well, in the train scene in Spider-Man 2, he was a train passenger, and in Step Brothers, he is a husband trying to buy Will Ferrell and John C. Riley's house.
Interesting. As for me, I'll say Phil Lamar is the best for Hector Concorde and Ollie Williams and so many other characters alone. But I love Casey Kasem as Saki as well. How about you, Zara?
I know Phil Lamar more, so I'll go with him probably. Although Casey Kasem isn't that bad either.
Yep. And we have a question from Mike. He asks, do you think Jeff Bergman is a good voice actor?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I agree too. I did like his performances of the Looney Tunes characters in sorts like Whooper Bunny in 1991, and also the Looney Tunes Show is a really good and somewhat underrated take on those classic characters. And also, I love his portrayal of Fred Flintstone as well. This is an unpopular opinion, but the Flintstones on the Rocks is just as good as the original Flintstones TV series. But
I I agree.
yeah. What do you think, Zara? You think Jeff Bergman's a good voice actor? If
I
you heard,
do. I really do. I mean, he's played not one, but 2 presidents now on our cartoon president, and he did Bugs Bunny and stuff like that in the Looney Tunes show. So I would say he's pretty talented.
cool. Okay, and we have a question from Jason. What are your favorite currently running cartoons besides Animaniacs to 2020? He says his are Glitz and Amphibia.
Um, I like Amphibia because of the cool art design.
Me too. How about you, Zara? What currently running cartoon do you think is the best?
I really don't watch any currently running cartoons, to be honest. I usually just watch the ones I like from the early 2000s, and then I really don't watch any of the new ones that much. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. As for me, if I were to just name one, it would be Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max. The animation style alone is just terrific. And okay, we have a couple more questions from Dexter. Which is better, the new Scooby-Doo movies or Scooby-Doo and Guess Who?
I would say both are good.
Yeah, I'll say I'll say Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, 'cause I saw that recently, and probably more than the new Scooby-Doo movies. I barely have any memories of it. But with Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, like the episode with Kristen Shaw as a guest star is probably my favorite of the handful that I saw on Teletoon recently.
Wait a second.
Oh,
I just don't like it when my nephew keeps calling me.
oh,
Just
oh, is it something important he wants to tell you? Because
well,
if so,
I just want to find a way to turn it off.
uh, I think on your phone there should be a side where you turn down the volume or mute it.
Well, I did mute it,
Oh, uh,
but anyways, it would be hilarious if there was a strong bad crossover with Shaggy and Scooby.
Who the crap are you two?
Like I'm Shaggy Rogers
And this is my pal Scooby.
Yeah, we like Scooby snacks. Well, I have the cheat, and I like kicking him.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And we have uh, we have another question from Dexter. Animaniacs or Tiny Two Adventures? Which one do you think's better?
Animaniacs, hands down.
Yeah,
I like
same
both.
here. I barely watch a Tiny Two Adventures. Okay, we're gonna be here for just for 20 more minutes at most. We have to wrap up soon. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna be playing just one more quip, and then I want us to play a little game of guess that voice impression with Kristen. So if you, so again, if you don't mind, I'm gonna play another quip for you guys, for the audience, I mean. Okay, okay, let me just turn off Rob, and we're gonna play one of our absolute favorites, Gray the Wild Griffin, meeting some kids on the autism spectrum.
Mike asked, do you think Mel Blanc is the best VA ever? I'd say he is another voice acting king, much like Frank Welker.
Yes, same here.
But what about James Earl Jones? In fact, I am blank.
Okay, so that was Gray meeting some autistic kids, entertaining them with her beautiful voice acting. Like, can we all just agree that Gray is a beautiful person, both outside and in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. And let's not forget, she voiced the best character of all time in Avatar The Last Airbender, Princess Azula herself from the Fire Nation.
Well, her voice kind of reminded me of Maud Lebowski from The Big Lebowski. Jeffrey. Maud? Love me.
That's my robe.
Uh, I might get some flack for this, but Azula is a character who I unironically hate for just how scummy she is. Like, but the most positive thing I could say about her, well, in the beach episode, she was pretty funny, and of course, Gray does a really good job performing her, and also, I'll have to give credits to the writers of the show. Like, they want to write a character who the audience hate about as much as the characters, and at least on my end, they succeeded. Although I know Azula has lots of fans who love her because she's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
I personally prefer Vexus because I'm an Eartha Kitt impressionist.
Yes, I know. Mind demonstrating?
Well, this is what Eartha Kitt sounds like. I was in season 3 of Adam was Batman, and I was the perfect cat.
Cool. And Jason says, of course, having a crush on Gray plays bias and Barry's viewpoint. Yes, I admit that Gray is my biggest celebrity crush, and just gonna kind of leave it at that. Kind of need to be careful with my words because she's followed me back on Twitter, but she doesn't seem to mind.
Yeah, and for me, I just like showcasing the more obscure work that people have been on, even if they don't recognize it. for example, did you know that Matt Chapman, who voiced all the Homestar Runner characters, voiced and wrote in Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, and The Owl House?
Cool. What are your thoughts on that, Zara?
My thoughts on what?
Hmm?
My
What
thoughts on
Kristen
what?
just said.
Well, I think it's good to show obscure work to people. Definitely worth, showing good obscure things. So thumbs up on that.
Yes, big thumbs up from me as well. Okay, guys, we're we're gonna be ending the stream in a bit, but for now, let's play a will game. Kristen is gonna be doing some voice impressions, and we're gonna have to guess who is he doing an impression of, and he will give us some hints along the way. So, are you ready, Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
Technical foul! Technical foul! You leave that garbage truck in the gutter where it belongs! Take a walk, McCarthy! Take a walk!
Oh, that's Whitey from Adam Sandler's Eight Crazy Nights.
Well, actually, he originated from an audio sketch titled Whitey in 1999 before appearing in live action as by Dana Carvey in Lil Nicky,
Get that crap out of here!
then appearing in Eight Crazy Nights. See? The Sandler verse is connected.
Cool. Okay, so that's 1 point for me. Next round.
I'm thinking.
My name is. Yes, forget it. And I'm here to get rid of the Autobots!
Any clues, Zara?
Mm-mm.
Well,
It's Frank Welker as Megatron.
Oh,
Oh.
Megatron. Yeah, it's not like Megatron's an obscure role, it's just that I don't recognize I won't recognize any of his roles.
Well, Chris Rager.
No, for Hercule from Dragon Ball Z.
Did a Megatron impression in this anime that's not for kids. It's called Penny and Stocking with Garter Belt.
Cool. Okay, Dexter's leaving. Goodbye, Dexter. Have a safe rest of your night. Okay, round 3, Kristen.
Live long and prosper. Well, I've known for art by Vincent van Spock. I mean Van Gogh.
Any clues, Zara?
Mm-mm.
Me neither.
Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy. Oh, so no, he's Mr. Spock.
As well as Master Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts and King Kashkim from Atlantis Lost Empire.
Yep. I'm just remembering something with Leonard Nimoy when he appeared on the Simpsons episode. What was it? Marge versus
Marge
the Monorail. Yeah. And then Mayor Quimby comes up to him and says, "May the Force be with you." And then Leonard Nimoy was like, "Do you even know who I am?" And then Quimby asks one of the little rascals. I think that was a punchline. I'll remember. But yeah, that was a funny moment. Okay.
Dark.
Round 3. Or do round 3? Sorry,
Round
next
4.
round. Yeah.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight howls close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood.
That has to be Vincent Price on Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yes!
Yes. Excellent. 1 point for Zara. Okay, next round.
Oh, hi there. Looks like I need some drinking, because what's a squirrel gonna need without any drinks?
I'm going to guess, Jerry Lewis? A crazy guess, I know, but...
No, that's Chris Seaver's Conquer the Squirrel.
Oh yeah. Okay, so 0 points for... no points for both of us on that round. Okay, just two more, and then we'll wrap this up.
Adrian, get in the flask! My father has made this flask so that you and Cassius would go in it.
Hmm. What? Any guesses? Any guesses, Zara? Uh,
It's Nicky from Lil Nicky,
oh
played
yeah.
by Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, and one more.
Well, I'm just
Well, I happen to be very known for my work, and as you can see, I I have a distinct voice, and a lot of people have noticed what I sound like.
Is that Tony J?
Yes!
Yes. Okay, so don't mean to brag, but I'm the winner with 2 points. But at least you got 1 point, Zara.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a fun little game, and overall, this has been a fun little Q&A casual discussion here. So,
Yes, it has. Thank you for inviting me.
yes. Okay. So before we leave, anything you'd like to plug, uh, Kristen?
Well, DJ, if you like, go to the Homestar Runner Twitter page, Strong Bad Actual, or go to the Homestar Runner YouTube channel, which is homestarrunnerdot.com. It's pretty funny, and they have some clever nods to Hanna-Barbera cartoons. For example, there's a Halloween episode which is a Scooby-Doo parody.
Interesting.
Yep.
And just to briefly plug something that you're working on. You're doing a reanimated collab based on the Evil Concorde pilot, and so far you only got one contributor. So if you guys are interested, go to Kristen's Twitter, and You'll find the submission guidelines to join the reanimated collab.
Hmm?
And how about you, Zara? Anything you want
Um,
to plug?
well, you can just find me on Twitter and YouTube, and of course, check out Camp Creatability. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy what they're doing for people with autism, and that's it. Thank you so much for having me, Mr. DJ.
Yes, so it's great having you again, Zara. This time uh, we get to both hear your voice and see you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, one more thing. I didn't have this in mind when I was setting this up, but it's actually St. Patrick's Day today.
It
Bring
is.
your green hat! Let's go!
Yeah. I'm probably going to watch the Looney Tunes short, Wearing of the Grin. The one where Porky meets these leprechauns and then they give him these magic dancing suits that are out of control.
I'm gonna watch some Riverdale probably.
Oh, what was that?
I'm gonna watch some Riverdale probably. I don't have
Oh,
much more to finish it at.
okay.
I'm going to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League tomorrow. You heard of it?
Yes, I have heard the campaign to release the Snyder Cut.
It's coming out tomorrow.
Awesome.
And Ray Porter is going to voice Darkseid.
Cool. Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. There you are, Zara. It's just that you turned blue for a moment there. I think you're having technical difficulties.
Now I just exited the app for a sec because I had to reply that message.
Oh, okay. So, once again, thank you so much for this great discussion with you guys. I hope you guys have a safe, nice rest of your night and your week and so on and so forth.
Thanks, you too.
Yes,
Bye.
bye. Okay, that was a great little chat we had there. And thank you guys for your interesting questions and comments. So yeah, don't know exactly what my next stream would be, especially considering the workload that I have. But let's hope that it will be another interesting topic soon. So yeah, once again, to all of you guys, thank you for watching. Have a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day if you even celebrate it, and also happy development Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Thanks for watching, and take care.